I had a teacher in the 5th grade in Alaska. His name was Mr. Jenis, and it was his first year of teaching. And I actually even mentioned to him in an interview years and years ago, said something about, you know, how much I had loved being in his class, and got a letter back from him through, I don't know, you know, and he didn't remember me. And was very embarrassed. And I said, listen, I wrote him back. It was his very first year teaching. It was Juneau, Alaska. He's now principal of a school, I think in Anchorage or Fairbanks, I believe he said. But he had a great passion for teaching. He was very young. He was probably 23 or 24 years old. You know, we thought he was so grown up, but he was just a kid. And he read A Wrinkle in Time to us that year. I remember when he would read it chapter by chapter. We could do quiet work while he read. I chose to knit a scarf that I still have. And I loved the book. It was such a beautiful story and so emotional, and so much about the possibility that a child has within themselves to save the world, really. And it was a great year in school, because 5th grade is, you're sort of starting to become a real student. He encouraged us to think for ourselves. He asked us what we wanted to, you know, what problems we wanted to solve in the world, what did we want to know about, how would we go about doing it. He allowed us to argue. I can remember arguing with him that the Burlington-Bristol Bridge was directly across from Philadelphia, because that was how I remembered it. Because my grandparents lived in New Jersey, and I thought that bridge went straight to Philadelphia, and I was adamant about it. And he kept arguing that no, in fact, it didn't go there. But I still remember the argument, and I mean, he took me very seriously. Maybe because he was very close to my age. But anyway, he was really a remarkable teacher, and he was probably my first male teacher as well. So I'm sure that was pretty influential. But I had, there were so many. I can remember Mrs. Nietenstein in the 2nd grade, and Mrs. Bevins in the 3rd grade, and Mr. Bruni in the 6th grade, the first person who asked us to write a term paper. You know, I'm sure the teachers, I hope the teachers know how influential they are and how much we remember them years later. You know, and I see it now with my children's teachers, how meaningful they are to them and how much they have to do with their personal and intellectual growth. But it really is kind of amazing what a difference it makes.